think of what you're going to do right now. They've got one more timeout left. They might take it down till they get it to 18 or 16 seconds. You're going to have a man-to-man pressure by Houston. It looks like Akeem on Bailey. Who is Drexler guard?
Drexler's staying inside. Looks like he might be on Charles. Oh, dangerous pass.
No, it's the half-court trap that Houston's using. Now, Jim Valvano might not have anticipated this, so he'd probably call that timeout if a player gets in trouble.
He has his three guards in there now as Gannon's in there with Wittenberg and Lowe.
Down to 25 seconds. Dangerous pass.
This is a really interesting strategy by Houston. They're aggressive now, not staying back.
Well, remember they have Akeem in there to block anything that goes inside. Down to 14 seconds.
Oh, almost stolen by Drexler. Boy, is he good at that.
They've got to drive to the basket. It's down to 7 seconds.
You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, it's a long ways.
They won it!
After finishing the regular season at 17-10, the NC State Wolfpack was a long shot from the 1983 NCAA tournament. However, they defeated such foes as UNC and Virginia in the ACC tournament, winning themselves a spot in the dance. After comeback wins in almost all of their victories throughout the NCAA tournament, NC State was matched up against Phi Slama Jama and the University of Houston with Akeem Olajuwon in the finals. However, they shocked the world once again to win the national championship. Jim Valvano was just as much of a motivator as he was a basketball coach. He taught his players that if they could believe what he was believing and see what he was seeing, that anything was possible. He walked in on the first day of practice and said, "I know I'm going to win a national championship." And at first, the players were not really struck by this. However, the more he spoke, the more they sat up, the more they listened, the more they believed that they could achieve anything. He looked at the game in a different way. He looked at it as larger than life. And that's what would get them to success. Derek Wittenberg was a focal point of this NC State run. After coming back from an early season injury in his senior year, the year that they won the national championship, he sparked the players and back into believing that they could achieve anything. And in the end, it was Wittenberg who threw the final ball to Lorenzo Charles to slam it in at the last second. Finally, the Wolfpack and Valvano were able to cut the nets down. However, it wasn't the first time they had. Valvano made it a point every season to make sure they cut down the nets at least once in a practice during the season. At first, players said it was kind of weird. They were kind of taken back by it didn't feel realistic. However, the more times they did it, the more times it felt real, the more times it felt like it could happen. It was all Valvano's idea of capturing the image of his belief and practicing what you believe can happen. Thurl Bailey was one of the guys who this would happen with. In the 30 for 30 documentary, he accounts many times that Valvano made him feel like what they were doing was larger than life. One time was when he came in before their first Final Four game against Georgia with a stack of letters from inspired fans. One of these letters was from a woman whose husband was in a coma. He was a basketball fan and she was not. However, she would sit by his bed every night and watch the NC State team play. She said it gave her hope. If they could achieve something that nobody thought was possible, why couldn't her husband? And that was the turning point for the NC State team, to believe in something larger than just what they were doing, the larger effects outside of just winning a national championship. Valvano knew it was all about believing in yourself.